Tonight I would like to present to you stalking. Did you know that over 6.6 million people are stalked every year? While legal definitions of stalking differ from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, all 50 states have stalking laws, and just a general definition of stalking is code of conduct that a reasonable person would feel fear. What I will try to present to you today in this presentation is what is stalking, secondly, who are stalkers and who are the victims of stalking, and lastly, I want to explain to you how do you protect yourself if you happen to be stalked. Stalking is a crime that affects millions of people all over this country every year, but it is a crime that is always underreported and overlooked. Why is this? The reason why this is because stalking is not just one event or one-time thing. Stalking is a combination of criminal and non-criminal acts that by themselves may appear harmless, but when you put those things together, then you will get stalking. In Mississippi, there are 3 different types of stalking. There are just regular stalking, which generally is started by somebody. If an individual causes fear by a particular act, then you would maybe have stalking. You would also have aggravated stalking, whereas same things apply with stalking, but this time added with a weapon or an imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury. And then lastly, there is cyber stalking, which is very prevalent in the college campus because everybody is inept or adept at using social media, text messaging, and email. Which leads me to the point that who exactly are stalkers? Well, stalkers can be anyone. Stalkers could be your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Stalking, according to the National Center for Crime Victims, Stalking Resource Center says that 1 in 6 women are stalked sometime in their lifetime, and 1 in 19 men are stalked in their lifetime. As you can see, that stalking is generally a crime that men commit. It is generally a crime that affects women, out of proportion. The reason for that is because men generally stalk because they lack or feel like they're lacking control in the situation, so they begin to stalk. There are different types of stalkers. There are exactly 5 different types of stalkers, and this information comes from a study done by Dr. Paul Mullen, who was an expert in stalking from Australia. The first type of stalker is the rejected stalker, or this is the type of stalker when someone becomes divorced or whatever, they feel rejected, so they seek revenge. You also have a resentful stalker. This is somebody who has a vendetta against a particular person. You have a intimacy stalker, or this person who seeks to establish intimacy with somebody. And then you have the incompetent stalker, or somebody who is not adept at making relationships with people. They will pursue this in order to create a relationship. And then lastly, you have the predatory stalker. This is a person who tends to hide in the bushes or spy on you for potential sexual attack. How can you protect yourself? Lastly, how can you protect yourself against stalking? And I could sum this up in 3 words. Document, document, document. You as a stalking victim are the best investigator for law enforcement. And that's one of the reasons why stalking is very seldom investigated and often overlooked, because most stalking victims do not report. One of the reasons why they do not report their crimes is because due to privacy, they don't want people in their business, fear of reprisal, fear that the stalker will come back and do something to them, or they lack evidence. When they do go to the police, they lack evidence because they did not document each and every one of these events. And then also, they would tend to minimize what has happened. I would just say, lastly, record all the events, report even small events. Without documentation, there is no evidence, and it did not happen. In conclusion, remember to understand that one, what is stalking? Stalking again is of course a conduct that would cause a reasonable person to feel fear. Secondly, stalkers can be anyone, and victims tend to be the victims of stalking. And lastly, document and report your stalking events anytime you can. Thank you, and thank you for listening.
All right. I am the fifth person.
Actually,